Hey there guys, my name is Luke. Welcome to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review, where today I am reviewing a cook set and stove system. This is from Optimus, and this is the Elektra FE Cook System. Go ahead, get comfortable. Let's take a look at it now. Let's start here with an unboxing. You receive the stove cook set and windscreen, some warranty information and so on, and a very thick instruction booklet. The star of the show, of course, is the stove and cook set. As mentioned, this is the windscreen. This is an aluminum set, which includes the storage bag, the top lid, which Optimus refers to as a little frying pan. In my opinion, this is just too small to be a frying pan. You can certainly fry an egg in this, but not much more than that. You get the Optimus Bob, and essentially this is for scrubbing your plates, your bowls, and so on for cleaning up camp. Next up, you have the Piezo igniter. That creates a spark at the end where you can ignite the stove. Speaking of the stove, here it is inside of this little bag. Here you go. This is the stove. This is the Crux Lite stove with the fold-out legs. Now, why don't we focus on this for 1 second here. Nice and easy. We'll skip that one. This one's... that's a little hard. This one here is extremely hard. I've been using this set for about 2 months now. Gosh. And this has begun to rust. So opening and closing this is no longer easy. Then you have the pot, you have the handles, heat spreader on the bottom. This offers you 800 milliliters of capacity. And this pot does feature measurements stamped right into the aluminum. Now on the inside of this pot and this cup, this is a non-stick surface, and it really does work well. Cleans up nice and easy. Now, when it comes to the entire set, this weighs 1 pound, 1 ounce without a can of gas, and that includes the windscreen and storage bags. When it comes to the lid and the pot, you were looking at 9.7 ounces. When it comes to the stove and storage bag, you were looking at 2.9 ounces. When it comes to the igniter, 0.7 of an ounce. When it comes to the bob, you're looking at 0.4 of an ounce. The windscreen, 3 ounces. Now, my friends, I will show you all how to use this cook set and stove. Screw on the stove itself, the Crux Lite, to your gas can, just like so. Then you take the windscreen, and this simply pops around the gas canister. Just like so. It attaches underneath the rim of the gas can. It is not attached to the stove itself. So that means this is compatible with any can of gas. But that doesn't mean that's compatible with all stoves though. Get it angled to block out the wind. Then you take the pot. Let's boil up 12 ounces of water. So we have our 12 ounces of water ready to go. Let's do a real world test. Let's see how long it takes. Take the igniter, turn on the stove. Okay, you can't see it, but it is lit. Put the water on. Crank it up. So the water is going now. As you can see, the windscreen is doing an okay job. That's with a breeze around 7 miles an hour. Okay, we are at 2 minutes exactly now, and the water is boiling. As you guys saw there, that was a real world test. Temperature outside right now, it's probably around 35 degrees, something like that. The water was fairly cold. There was a nice breeze, around 10 miles an hour. And this was able to boil 12 ounces of water in roughly 2 minutes. That is a real world example of what this stove is capable of. Now, it's not the lightest stove in the world. It's not the fastest stove either, but it is a very good one. It's very compact. I do like that. Unfortunately, because of the legs being rusted, they are very, very, very hard to maneuver. So hard, in fact, that I really can't even do it with my fingers. I have to push it down on a table to get them to fold and unfold. Now, in a controlled environment, the best boiling times that I've been able to achieve is 1 cup of water in 54 seconds, 2 cups of water in 1 minute and 55 seconds. That's inside of my house, where it's 70 degrees with no breeze at all. Now folks, we've seen the stove in action, we've gone over the stats and so on. let's move to the review. Now, I have to say that I do like this setup. For roughly $100, it is not bad at all. This will definitely take care of most people on their outing trip. Let's go component by component. I like the idea of the windscreen, but I find that this really doesn't work very well. As you guys saw there, the wind was blowing maybe 10 miles an hour, and it was disrupting the stove a good bit. So yeah, it kind of works for very low windage, under 10 miles an hour. Otherwise, I find this to be somewhat useless. With the Crux Lite stove, I like this a lot. I've always been a fan of the Crux. I do like it. I continue to use my other Crux stove quite a bit. The same issue which I had with it, I have with this one here. The legs become very stiff, rusted into place over time. Especially this one here, I just have to push on the table because I can't do it with my hands. If you own this stove, or if you plan on getting this stove, make sure to take care of those legs. Make sure they don't rust. When it comes to the pot and the lid, thumbs up. I like that non-stick surface. It really does work well. It makes for cleaning this thing out super, super simple. As I mentioned before, I have made an egg inside of the tiny little lid here. And I mean, really, I just wiped it right out, not a problem. Very, very good quality. This is aluminum. I have no problem with aluminum. Most people do not. The pot does have a heat spreader on the bottom. You know, I wonder if this actually does anything. I'm not really sure. In the future, we will have to do an episode where we compare a pot without a heat spreader to a pot that has one. We'll do a versus episode and see how that ends up. Yeah, I really don't know. Don't know. You have coated handles here so you don't burn your fingers when you go to grab the pot. With the cup, the handle locks into place, easily unlocks, folds down. With the bob, it does exactly what it is supposed to do. You can use this to wash your pots and so on. You have the foamy side, and then you have the scrubby side. With the igniter, small, light, you have the lanyard. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. Good stuff. All in all, everyone, this is a pretty good cook set. The only thing that you really are missing is a fork, a spoon, a knife, and so on. It's pretty complete, and it works well. You know, I tend to go more minimalistic than this with my own outings. I have the stove, I have a pot and a cup, and that's it. I typically don't bring along the igniter, or the sponge, or even carry bags. But of course, that's just me. It really is up to you and what you want to carry out on your trip. You know, this features everything here, so you can go out, you can cook, you can boil water, you can make your coffee, your hot chocolate, you can make an egg, and so on. And you can clean up super easily. The stove works well, always have. I've always liked the Crux. As mentioned before, it's not the most powerful stove out there. It's also not the lightest weight, but I really do like it. It really is good. One last thing that I do like is that everything will fit inside of itself. Let me show you how that's done. Put the stove back in the bag, gas can in, stove in, igniter in, bob time, cup lid, everything in the storage bag, take the windscreen, bam, just like that, you're done. And that is your kit for roughly $100. You can find this a little bit cheaper here and there, but the retail price is $100. So folks, that wraps up my review of the Optimus Elektra FE, which stands for Fuel Efficient Stove Cook System. What do you guys think about this kit? Ultimately, I do like this kit. The quality is there, the price is right. It really does depend on what you need as a backpacker and so on. Are you going out by yourself? Can you get away with a minimalistic kit? Or do you need a kit that has a little bit more to it? It's up to you. If you guys have any questions for me, email me. Until next time, strength and honor. See you guys around.